everybody, my name is America and I'm an MS1, which means I'm in my first year of medical school, and this is my Study With Me video. So when I first started hearing that people wanted to watch a Study With Me video, I was really confused because studying is very boring as it is. People want to watch me study. I just didn't understand how that would be interesting. But enough of y'all are asking about it, so it obviously must be something worthwhile to watch. So if I actually use the school material that I actually study for my finals, that would kind of be a copyright infringement. So instead, we're going to be using a handout that I created, and it's about cats. So if you would like to keep learning about my studying techniques and what I do when I'm studying, then keep on watching. So here is our book of notes. This was all of the notes that I took for my renal module that I just finished. This is what we learn in 4 weeks. So it's a lot of material, as you can see. These are the handouts. So our school runs on Canvas. For each day, you can read the handout of the day, and it's usually just a piece of paper like this. It's like an outline of notes. It doesn't usually have a lot of pictures, and there's usually about 3 or 4 pages that look like this of just an outline of what we're going to be learning the next day. Usually there's a student in our class that is kind enough to put all of the handouts that are on Canvas online, print them, and put them in this kind of notebook fashion, because some of us actually still like writing down and taking notes and highlighting, but there are students who use a computer, and I'll be showing you how I do both. Let's say that this is what we're talking about on Monday and it's Sunday night. I quickly read through the handout and take a lot of notes, so have your pens, highlighters, and pencils ready. So whenever I'm about to go through my handout, I usually have a pencil, a pen, and a highlighter out. And yes, I bite everything. Really quick tip, but this is a very, very important part. Please put your phone away when you're studying. Sounds like a lot of work, but honestly, I can get through a handout like this one in about an hour or less. And as soon as that's over, I have all the free time in the world to get back on my phone or get back on Facebook without actually worrying about having to finish. Put your phone away. You'll be so surprised about how much more productive you'll be. I basically go through the handout, I read it, highlight key facts or buzzwords. Typically, if a teacher has bolded some words or underlined some words in the notes, then I feel like they're worth remembering, and so I'll highlight them. I feel personally like highlighting makes the reading process a little bit more active, so that my brain is actually working and I'm looking at what's important instead of just passing my eyes over a whole bunch of words but not actually processing any of it. Usually when I'm reading notes, I don't understand everything because it's my first time seeing this new information. So when I'm reading notes, it takes me so long is I'll circle words or underline words that I don't understand or ideas that I don't understand, and I will define them on the side over here. I'll circle the word and I'll write down the definition on the side, or I will circle the whole idea and write about what the idea means in plain English or simpler English. And I kind of just do that all over my notes, so that not only do I know what those words and ideas mean now, but when I look back at these notes, it's all dumbed down. I have everything that I need all in one place. I don't have to waste time researching all of this again. That is so key. A lot of people are afraid to ask questions or just think that they'll understand it later. No, like understand it now. Go research that idea or that definition now. You don't have to bet that maybe you'll see this later. You know that you know it already. Read the handout prior to class, but in class, you can actually ask your professor during his lecture. When he gets to this point, you can ask him, what made cats sacred, for instance? And when he answers, you can just write down what he says over here. You have your answer straight from the professor. Once you're done going through all of your handouts, basically it, and you just take your notebook to class tomorrow. It's unfortunately 4 hours long from 8 to 12. So the first things that I'll have out is some coffee or water. And I usually have a snack, and yes, I know my banana's brown, leave them alone. My pencil pouch, and from my backpack, my notebook and my laptop. So this is basically the layup during class. I'm going to take a new colored pen so that I know that these notes that I'm taking on my notes now are the ones from class and not the ones from when I was doing the pre-reading the night before. So typically in class, the teacher is going over a PowerPoint. And as you can see, the PowerPoint typically looks a lot like the handouts. If you came to class prepared and understood the handout, then you will be super prepared during class, because usually if you understand the handout, you understand what your professor's talking about. I kind of use the class as a time to clarify questions that I don't understand, or just as a way to review the information, because repetition is key. Now, sometimes during class, he'll go over stuff that was not in our notes. And when that is the case, I will be in class and I'll just write it on top of my handouts. So for instance, how much do people love cats? I can just say over here that 90% love domestic short hairs. And basically everything that was in the handout and everything that was in the PowerPoint is all in one place. They usually have the PowerPoint on Canvas so that you can download it, and in case you don't like taking handwritten notes. And one thing you can do is you can go to OneNote, open a new page, go to PDF printout, and click the PowerPoint that you've now saved as a PDF and press insert. And now the PowerPoint has turned into a PDF, and you can actually write notes right onto the PowerPoint. So for instance, I can write a little note over here saying, this is really important. OneNote is just awesome because of all the cool things you can do. A whole bunch of little labeling features. So let's say I wanted to mark down that little note I made as important. I can do that, and now that has a little star next to it. Label as a question instead. You can actually make a to-do list. There's just so much you can do on OneNote. This may not be too helpful on a MacBook Pro like I have, but you can actually go to this Draw tab, press the highlighter, and highlight stuff straight onto the PowerPoint. So who needs a handout? You can basically do all of this online, and this is way better if you have an iPad. I personally like having the handouts and being able to write this all down. I also don't own an iPad, but to each their own, and you can decide which one you like more. But these are the two most popular ways that people write down notes in class. After class and after reading the handout, your notes will look like this, absolutely covered in information. That is gold when you're reviewing. Now let's say it's time to take a quiz over this information the next week. So I have the handouts right here covered with all the definitions and everything that I need to know to understand this handout. But I also like to use a whiteboard to rewrite key points in here, because I feel like the more that I write it down, the better it sticks in my head. So for instance, 20 million years ago, the first carnivores that actually look like cats walked the earth. 12 million years ago, the oldest known relative of state's domestic cats develops, blah, 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 blah. After I'm done reading that, I'm going to do a mental recall of everything that I remembered. So what, 20 million years ago, cats walked the earth, and I just keep going. I'll do a mental recall, and anything that I don't remember, I can go back to my handout, and I just keep rewriting it until I know it. And if you guys have watched my How to Ace Med School video, you know that I like to actively talk to an invisible audience when I do this. So I'll actually pretend that I'm a teacher who's teaching stuff about cats past. I feel like if you can teach it, that is a sign that you are a master of the information. Okay kids, so today we're going to learn about a cat's past. Let's start by saying that 20 million years ago, and I feel like this just makes it more fun to kind of play make-believe that I'm a teacher, and it makes me not want to check my phone and get on my laptop because I'm horribly bored. I feel like it kind of makes it fun. And that's basically it, guys. No fancy equipment, no magic, nothing crazy. That's how I study for class all the time. It seems like a lot of work, but put your phone away and I promise it won't take so long. I actually just took my renal exam yesterday, and I used all of these techniques to study for that. So if you want to find out how I did on the renal exam, please subscribe below. I have vlogs about almost every week. I'm not shy about sharing my grades, and I'm not shy about showing you the good, the bad, and the ugly about being a medical student. I really hope that this was the video that you guys wanted. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye everyone.